what do we do with all of these different manifestations of of loss, of grief, of mourning, of sadness? You know,
Mm.
what do we do with this? Where do we put it? How do we address it? Because it's going to happen again. It keeps happening. I think we're in a national state of it. And my story is not unlike 300 million other very similar stories. You
Mm.
know, like I can be sad about this and I can let this completely stop everything I'm doing. Or I can, you know, acknowledge that this is also happening to everybody else and we're all doing our best and we're all trying and then what?
Mm. Horrible things that happen to us. What it really, it's not only good for ourselves spiritually, if you want to put it that way, to be honest, but it's also the greatest action that we can do often of compassion for other people, because you're not holding yourself aloof from the tragedy of mortal existence, which is we are conscious beings that see our own mortality approaching in so many ways, whether it's failure in some area or limits. And there's
Well,
kind
I
of
guess,
two kinds of people. You admit that and move ahead in solidarity with other people, or you look for false solutions that then make people who are suffering feel like somehow they're the odd person out, whereas actually the normal
mm,
human condition is a certain measure of suffering. Fortunately, it's not all the time, but it's a real part of our lives.
I think the other interesting thing about grief and about losing people is kind of our culture's not dismissiveness, but how people kind of view it as the end of a relationship in some ways. And I have found within the last couple of years this really strong pull to remember my ancestors, to communicate with them, to have them as guides.